I know that you are all excited about the acronym BLU. BLU is simply right below you. Very easy to remember. Tell two friends. There's no E on the end of blue because blue is more than a color. Blue is an attitude. It's an attitude of gratitude. Yeah, it starts there. Being able to say thank you. Being cognizant that we have a reason to be thankful for so many good things. Our relationships, our friends around us, the people that make our daily walk worth turning into a run. Yeah, that's what I'm excited about. I'm excited because the community has really embraced the Historic Arts District here in Akron. I'm excited because they see that the arts are a catalyst and an economic development tool that really heightens the imagination. It's that gift of what can be, that inventive spirit that leads to the desire to create, to innovate. And that's really why we're gathering here on a regular basis. The first Wednesday of every month, you will find this stage adorned with the best and the brightest. And that's why we embrace our fearless leader, Mr. Jeff Hoffman. How about him? Yeah, he's here. I gotta thank my friend Ian Schwarber, who's not here tonight because he's feeling a little blue. Yeah, with an E. He's got the blues, you know. He's a cool cat, and he's really the catalytic component that brings us all together. So wish him well on Facebook, Tweeters, and all the other happy things that we do. So we're all excited about the inventive spirit that brings people together and that gets the best and the brightest, and we do it on a regular basis, and I'm really thrilled tonight that you're here again to share big ideas, to listen to big ideas. Tell two friends, meet two new friends, and let's meet our new friend, Brandon. Where's Brandon? Come on up here. He's going to open up with some big ideas for you to take on the road.
Thank you. So my name is Brandon. I'm our special projects guy here at the Excel Center, and I was asked to fill in for Ian. But if anybody actually knows Ian, then you know that's not possible because I'm not a rock star, I'm not a devout Catholic, and I'm also not very tall. But if I was Ian, I would do two things. I would thank you so much profusely for actually being here this evening and for sharing your time with us. With everything that the Excel Center does, our DNA is really entrenched with people who care and love the community, the city, and our students. So thank you for being here. And the second thing that I would do is I would introduce you to my best friend, Jeff. For all of you who don't know, Jeff Hoffman is the founding director of the Excel Center. But not only that, he has also enjoyed a rich career of running, owning global startups all over the world, and also being a global mentor too. Jeff has been an inspiration to me, an inspiration to the community, and really just been a connector and a lot of energy in terms of here. So with no further ado, I'm going to introduce Jeff, who's going to be our host this evening, and please enjoy the night.
So I just want to introduce tonight's topic, and then we'll talk about tonight's speakers. Each month we do this, we're picking a different topic to delve into, something to think about, something that's relevant to everybody is what we're trying to do. Then we're trying to bring you guest speakers that are living at that particular issue or problem. Like last time we talked about risk, for example. How do you approach risk? How do you mitigate risk? Tonight we're going to talk about scale. That's our topic today. And scale meaning how to grow a business. It's the thing that every business owner everywhere that we talk to, whether you have an existing business or even a big business or you're at a startup, everybody's trying to grow. And I have to tell you that working with business owners and entrepreneurs of all different sizes all over the world, here's the thing that I hear the most. People say we're stuck. We launched our business, it grew to a certain amount, and we can't make it grow anymore. So that's what we're going to address tonight, this topic of scale. I have been doing this for a long, long time. I've told you guys before, I've done 8 startups in my life, and the focus was always typically, I shouldn't say no one, most people don't build a company hoping it will stay really small and never grow. Most people build a company hoping that they can grow it to whatever sort of makes sense for the industry they're in. Obviously, it's easier to grow an internet company than it is a bricks and mortars company, but we're going to talk about the basic principles of scale are the same. So I've been involved, done that a couple of different times with companies that we built, that we scaled on a global basis. Obviously, our biggest one was, when Priceline started, it started in one city. And then even though it's on the internet, we're only serving one city. And it was a company that then grew nationally. And I remember the discussions one day, Europe, some other countries. Today, it's a company that does business in 190 countries, which, by the way, tonight's trivia question is, how many countries are there? No, and no. It also depends on who you ask. So I called the State Department. I figured their answer would be a pretty good one. I called the State Department to find out, and they said at this moment 206. But it depends. Some of the countries don't acknowledge each other, and countries literally form and grow and live and die on a very, very short notice. So right now it's about 206, something in that neighborhood. But you were still closest, so you get the prize. Actually, Ian made me do this. The prize is a book that I wrote last year called Scale. I would not have been promoting this, but Ian brought these and he was going to give them away tonight. So you can have the first one. I'm supposed to sign it for you later. I got another one that we'll give away later, but the book is about literally how to launch and grow businesses and how to scale them. Again, we went through all the things that you need to learn. There's a lot of things you have to get right to grow a business. Everything from automation to process to employee training. There's just a long list of things. Brand is a big piece of this that you don't think of. If you don't actually have a developed brand that grows ahead of you, it's really hard to scale a business. There's a list of things we can talk about more in the Q&A about what it takes to scale a business. What we're going to do tonight is we're going to bring up 2 different guest speakers that we think you really enjoy, have them tell their story of scale and how they're growing their current businesses, and then we'll do what we always do. We'll have some Q&A. So right now, I'm going to bring up Carolyn and let her introduce herself, part of our Excel team. You've heard her name before, Carolyn Behrman, and we've talked about her, but we want to introduce her, let her tell you what she does here, and then she's going to introduce our first guest. So, Carolyn?
Thank you. I was actually going to, if he hadn't said my name, start by saying I'm also not Ian Schwarber. I'm actually really happy to be here. This is the 3rd of these blueprints, and it's wonderful, in my opinion, that this time around we're focusing on 2 things I really love. So I'll introduce the first one after I tell you a little bit about me, and then I get to come up and introduce the second thing I really love. So it's a pleasure to do this set. I am the Faculty Collaboration Director for the Excel Center at the University of Akron. It's actually really hard to make eye contact up here, which is terrible for a teacher. Can you still hear me if I stand this way? It's the University of Akron's Excel Center, which began slowly over the course of last summer and then revved up scaled up across the fall, and now we're actually moving fairly quickly in the spring. Includes a lot of faculty and a lot of students who are interested in experiential learning, both for entrepreneurship and civic engagement. A lot of the faculty activity that's going on right now is part of something we're calling faculty-driven initiatives, and they really are, in fact, faculty-generated ideas that the Excel Center is putting support behind so that faculty can get creative and overcome barriers to the ways that we normally get to teach in order to make the teaching more experiential for the students. So if you want more details on that, examples of faculty-driven initiatives and so on, see me when we take a break, and I'd be happy to fill you in. I'm here and I'm around. My last name is my email address. If at any point any community partner wants to talk about internships, community-based research, service learning, and so on. For now, I'd love to take this moment to introduce, I guess, my new friend, who I'm going to actually go bother at some point soon, because I grew up in Tarrytown, New York, which is the home of really good pizza. And so Sean Browser, who is our first guest, is the creator, founder of Romeo's Pizza out in Medina. You may or may not have been there. But more recently, the creator of Pizza Fire. And Pizza Fire came to my attention because students in my class claimed that there was finally great pizza in town. And they made a lot of noise about it when one day Jeff and Ian went to meet with Sean, and I didn't get to go. And they couldn't believe the pizza didn't come back for me so I could give it to them. So without any further ado, I'd love to introduce Sean and learn more about what he's doing with Pizza Fire.
All right, Sean, you got to grab that mic out of there. So I got to tell you guys, Carolyn started that part of the story. Ian and I were at a meeting, and we were stuck in that debate between good food and fast food, because those sometimes conflict. We didn't have a lot of time, but we were kind of hungry for something good. So